Welcome to another edition of Business Wisdom Wednesday here at the Greater Washington Urban League, where we bring us together to go to the next level. My brother, Coach, please tell everybody your name and your business, because we're going to unpack that too.
I got you. So my name is Jamal Cheatham. My business is Conceal Tints. I do window tints. That's what it started out as originally. We've expanded into doing wallpaper, kitchen cabinet, countertops, car vinyl. So I expanded the business from where it started originally, which was just automotive window tints, to now residential, commercial, and now we're pretty much doing it all.
Yeah, you've been making the walls real legible here at the Greater Washington Urban League. On every floor, our CFO had the idea to create a wall where people can leave thoughts and emotions and feelings, and you came in and said, yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, it's a dry erase wallpaper. You know what I mean? So now any type of thoughts, ideas, affirmations, you walk in the office, you got it right there on the board. So it also serves as goals. You can put your goals on there, and now you can remember everything. So I thought it was a great idea, and I was glad that I got asked to come do the project.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was good. And not only did you come, your team members came, and it looked just like you. Was it your cousin?
So childhood friends, man. So that's the good thing about which I'm more appreciative is that now that I own my own business, friends that I've had for 30 plus years, they've stepped up to help me in the time of need when it's like, all right, this project's too big. My friends have always been there, and I'm able to teach them and show them how to do certain things, and just take it with me. So
that's real, man. That's real. And we're gonna go back to the beginning because it's us that can do that. And if you work for somebody else, they're like, why you got your cousin up in here? You helping me helping today. But when you own the business and you know your cousin is trained, come on, roll.
Yep.
I ask everybody that sits at the seat that you're in, man, and here at Business Wisdom Wednesday, I ask about your why. Why did you get started? You've been playing football on a college level. You've been coaching, winning championships for years. Why did you go into a business, bro?
So, one, I was hard-headed. Just leaving college, graduating, when I came out during that time, that was right when we had our recession.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't a good time, clearly, for a lot of us graduates. So, I worked at Best Buy, worked at Long Fencing Home, and eventually I just kind of got tired. And I was like, all right, I need to do something. I wanted to create something for myself that no matter what, it's recession proof, and that I can always do it. I can always employ myself no matter what. So I started sitting at a window tint shop, and I just started learning day in and day out until eventually I started doing my own customers and things of that nature. And once that job started making more than what I was making at Long Fence Home Best Buy, I just kind of kicked it to the curb.
You're not Jamaican, are you?
No.
I mean, he sounded like he said he was going to a long fence and this.
I'm a man of many hats. Listen, the hustle has always been in me. I'm not Jamaican, but I am Panamanian.
I hear you. There it is. See, I was close, y'all. I was close. Give him a hand on that, right? No, brother, the reason I asked that question is because of this, right? A lot of times people think situations have to be perfect to move to the next level. You graduated and you worked in 2 jobs and still figuring out really quick that there was something more for you to do. Talk about that, man. What did that feel like?
So it's just, I think I was talking to somebody earlier, and I was telling them, just don't quit. Whatever it is that you're doing, just don't quit. Patience is really the key, because we all had this big dream that we're going to start it out and it's just going to blow up, and it's going to go crazy and you never have to do anything. But sometimes you have to really just take your time and just let it grow organically. Like, I kept my full-time job until, the business caught up to where my full-time job was. And it took years. Like, it took 5 to 7 plus years before the business really took off and it was able to run itself. So, the biggest thing I would tell an entrepreneur or anybody that starts, just be patient. Don't quit. We quit on things way too soon. I would say this, at least this time, a lot of us love instant gratification. We do something and we want the big payday right then and there, and it just doesn't work out like that in reality in most situations. But as long as you have your purpose and you have your whys, eventually you'll get
Eventually get there. And look, my phone is ringing because my mama calling, so I gotta answer it. Can you get this to my mama? What I'm doing? Mom. Hold on 1 second. See how life is? Not at all, right? And so, when you think about all the things that you did as a young person, how are you using those things now as an adult in your business?
So,
thank you.
Because of my football background, it's actually made things very, very easy because, you got to think about 3-a-day practices and 2-a-day practices, being out there at 110-degree weather and you got a helmet on. So this work is actually easy. Like this is, even though, I'm working, I might work 8 hours, I might work 10 hours. It don't compare to having 100 pounds of football equipment on in 110-degree weather and you out here hitting somebody left and right. So this work has actually been pretty easy, but it's giving me discipline because you have to show up to practice. You have to show up on time. Just like your customer calls you and they have a time, you got to do that.
Yeah.
So the football, and not even football, just I played many different sports, but that teamwork aspect of having certain friends, help me out. Like there's a young lady that works here. She's helped me plenty of times. She plays on the football team with us, but that teamwork aspect is something that I've always took from all my athletic experiences that I've had. And I think it's really helped the business prosper.
Yeah, people like to be around winners, brother.
Somewhat. I wasn't always a winner, but I wasn't always
okay. I hear you. So let's talk about mindset, right? Because a lot of times when we have the why, we might have the desire, but if the mindset is not connected to the desire, there's a misstep. Talk about that mindset. How are you able to get that mindset to produce the man that you are now?
So my name was Bryce Bevel. That was my PB coach. He always said, "Believe in things not yet seen."
Believe. Say that again, please. I'm gonna get that one.
Believe in things not yet seen. You literally have to have an unwavering belief. Granted, you have to do all the necessary steps. You're supposed to, handle your business. Call your customers, be there on time, do great work. But you have to have the belief that what you're doing is going to pay off in the long run. And doesn't. My mother's gonna kill me if she sees this, but
she gonna say it because it's gonna be all over the place. But y'all know why you dead because his mama saw it.
Man, listen, my mother didn't know anything about window tint. She didn't know nothing about no window tint. And I came to her with all types of ideas like, hey, man, this is a good business. It's profitable, and my parents came from a different generation. They was like, go get a good job, work for the union, and I said, well, Mom, that's not what I want to do. And she just didn't understand it, but it wasn't for her to understand. That was my passion, that was my dream. So I believed in it so much that I just stuck with it.
I love it.
No matter what.
By show of hands, how many of y'all have one of those situations where you know it's in your heart, but nobody around you can see your heart, and they be like, yeah, okay, there you go again. There you go again. Right? And there you go. And here we are. Yeah. I love it. I love it. And so when I think about the mindset and having enough belief in yourself that you kept going, even when Mom said, I don't get this tinting, right? But when you think about the legacy that you're building, when people look at you now as a business owner, what are they seeing, man? You show up in the room, I see you got your logo on your shirt. Can you do this so you can see your logo? Y'all see his logo, right? He's branded, right? But what do people see when you walk in that room?
I hope they see well-spoken, educated, Black individual. I hope to give them the customer service that they want. You know what I mean? Like I treat everybody like I would want to be treated, like I would want my mother to be treated, or anybody. So I try to take every job that I do, and I make it personal. I know most of my customers. A lot of these customers have been with me for years, and I know them. I know their kids. I know their whole family. So, it's not just a business, but it's expanding into it's a family thing. A lot of my customers have been with me for years, and that's more so what I want to accomplish as a teamwork. Because I can only go as far as my customers help me. As long as they keep pushing out the word, then that pushes my business out there. So it's more just like we're creating this family environment here with all of us here. That's kind of how I want my business to represent. I want everybody to be a part.
So we want everyone to go to your business now, right? So what's the email? How do we reach you for those who want to take your room or car to the next level with your business?
So you can reach me at Conceal Tints, not Tints, T-E-N-T-S, but T-I-N-T-S, at gmail.com. That's my email. You can reach me on IG, on Conceal Tints, or you can go to my website, www.concealtints.com.
When you think about the legacy of wealth, right? Was there somebody other than your coach that you saw doing business that inspired you to know that your business idea was possible?
I call him my Tio, that's the Spanish side. So my Tio Carlos. He worked for University of Maryland as an HVAC tech. And while he was working there, he also started his own HVAC company. So he was working at Maryland University, and he started his own business. This was like 1993. And so I seen that as a 7-year-old. I just watched him as he continued. He worked both jobs until probably, I think, 2007. He retired. Completely did 20 plus years in the University of Maryland, but he still had his business. And so I watched him grow it organically, keeping a full-time job, and then also keeping his business to where, and he told me a long time ago his business was making way more than his regular job, but he wasn't ready to take a step until once he retired, he went full throttle. So he was the first person in our family actually that went, the entrepreneur route, and I knew instantly that that's what I wanted.
That's what you wanted to do. I love that, right? I'm going to open up the floor. Any questions? Anyone have any questions? Oh, great. Oh, good. It gives me more. You have one?
I would say I'm just coming in.
Okay.
Late, so you probably already shared. But what was a motivation for you to start this particular business?
Great question. See?
So
let's give her a hand.
No, that's a good question.
See? It's a share room here.
So initially, it was about what business could I start with the least amount of overhead. So it so happened that, the supplies I didn't have a lot of money, at the time, so the supplies that I needed didn't cost a lot. Like I could get started with $150 roll to do 7 cars. You know what I mean? So I was mobile, and I used to do it in DC all the time, different alleys, all types of stuff, and I was charging like $8 to do a full car. So it was something that was cheap, and I knew I could keep my overhead down. So that's what made me originally start the business. But I have a vision that I would get to this point where I'd be doing different contracts with different companies. Probably not at that time, because I was just like, I gotta get to the money. I'm trying to get to the money, but as time grew on, my vision started to change. So I definitely say more reason why I started the business was because overhead was significantly lower. But I also, when I was in college, I seen my car get window tinted at 20 years old. And I'm like, if they can do it, I know I can do it. There's no reason why we got this company over here that got 7 window tinted and I can't do it. So.
Love it, love it. You saw it. You knew you could step into it. Yeah, give them that. You knew you could step in it. A lot of times we don't know we can, especially when we don't have visions of people truly doing it. And now that you are, what will you tell other entrepreneurs who are like still on the fence?
Jump out there. The more you think about it, the more you actually create your fear. You can think about it till you blue in the face, and then you'll never do it, and you'll realize it's 5, 6, 7, 8 years later. That was an idea that you wanted to do, and then you see somebody else doing it. So sometimes you got to jump out there and make mistakes. The first time I jumped out there, I burned a hole in somebody's car door. I ain't gonna lie. Smooth, big old hole right in the car door. I didn't know what to say. I just looked at them and was like, yeah, I did it. They didn't even look at it because at the time, like I said, the materials was cheap, so I did charge them like $50. And so they didn't even look at the door. They was like, look, you get my window tint for $50. This is a good job for $50. We'll take care of the door another way. But that was a mistake I made that I was willing to pay for it. Of course, I had already looked up online, eBay, Ask Jeeves at the time. You know what I mean? So I looked up all that stuff to try to go ahead and find the door panel. But I just went out there and did it. Like, that didn't deter me from doing another car. The next car I did, it might have took me 2 days to do a car. You know what I mean? But like I said earlier, as long as you keep doing it, you're going to get better at your craft. You got to be willing to fail in order to move forward. It's just It's inevitable.
So thinking about that ups and downs, and that happens, what are you looking forward to?
So last year I did a class. That was my first ever class that I taught, and I'm really interested in really actually teaching more, giving more people an opportunity to learn the craft, go out there and make your own money. Like even people that I've taught to this day, I tell them I bought them business cards. Like once they learn, I buy them business cards. Like, hey, you can work with me, but I want you to go out there and get. There's more than enough space for all of us.
Yes.
To be in. There's no need that we got to keep fighting. So I really would like to do more teaching, and that could be from window tinting to vinyl wrapping. Like one of my ventures that I do is kind of area, but I'm doing wrapping caskets.
Oh.
So people that have homegrown services, they might want things printed or full casket printed. So they can go out the right way, and I do that now. So I've just been going everywhere, but I really would want to teach and allow.
Who would have thought? Wrap your casket. I know someone who literally sells caskets. I'm gonna give you their number, but it's all about connection, right? So, brother, when I think about the connection, what are you looking to connect to? I know you want to teach, and that's real, right? But when you think about all of us in this room, there's something that have us here bigger than you and I, right? And when you were called on, you said, no problem because of the relationship, the connection that you have here. What are you looking to connect to?
Truth be told, I just want to. I have a good amount of my friends that are not in this space where they want to be financially, and I would love to be in a position to where I can provide them a better situation for themselves, so they can go out there and do what they can do. Like I'll take this on a whole tour if I could. Like I used to travel to Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Florida, Atlanta. I've traveled all over to do projects. So, I'm accepting the responsibility. The bigger my business is, the more I can
Yeah, I hear that. Say that again, brother, please.
The bigger I'm accepting the responsibility. The bigger I get, I got to get back as well. So I would love to help any friends that I could that are in a situation to where I can put them in a better situation financially. So that's really what I want. I like to help people. Like window tinting is part of the job, but at the end of the day, if I can help you, that's bigger.
Teaching a man how to fish. You give him the rod, the tent, and say, this is how you do it. The training. Wow. That's real. And it is so important for us to realize, even us in the room, when you think about it, he could have said, take a vacation, have a car. And his whole thing is, and how many of us feel the same way? If there's someone that can help lift us to the next level, I'm also, on my other hand, willing to pull someone else up. That's real. Can we give him a hand for that? Because a lot of times, we're not even on that level of pulling someone else up. So, my last question to you, right? The Greater Washington Urban League, the Parks Main Street, us in this room, what can we do for you?
Listen, what y'all just did earlier, like you need signages. If you need things done, to market your business, whatever it is, I can definitely provide it. Like this platform right here this is good enough. Like this, things like this don't happen every single day. So that's why once I got asked, I jumped at the opportunity.
Thank you.
And just continue to build a network. I talk to a young lady by the name of Dana all the time about building a network. And inside that network, we should be able to filter and push this person. I know a couple of y'all businesses now where it's like, hey, you want custom outfit, go over here. You want this, go over here. Like this is our network. This is our community, so you can always pass on to the next person. We're really all consultants at the end of the day.
Got it. So everyone on that word, please on your cell phone out, take a picture of the brother, because now you have another brother that does tinting, he does apparel, and when we realize that we have the power of growth in our own hands, imagine how we all can grow each other. So that's your good side?
That's my good.
Okay, good.
I went and got a shave up just for it.
That's good. Y'all give my brother a hand, please. We're going to cut the lights back on. We're going to get the mic ready. Get some more food over here. You can buy some and take some home also. We have amazing fashion.